cooperates. Oh, it says we're
Is this
live.
in the ambassadors group?
No, we are in the big
Oh, great.
group.
Big time group.
Yeah, we're going
Going
big time,
live.
Caleb.
Big
That's
time
how
group.
that's how
Nice.
important your stuff is
Oh
that
boy.
it's you're you're going to be very helpful to a lot of people, hopefully. So, hey, we're live in the Texan Church Community Facebook group. My name is Jeanette, and I am the community manager. And I invited my friend and Texan Church user and fellow Floridian, Caleb Oliver, to join me
What's up,
today.
guys? Hey.
So, hopefully, we'll get some people hopping in here in a minute. But I'm going to go ahead and kind of get started with what we want to talk about today once I get all my screens pulled up. Oh, there you are. You made a comment. Look at you.
There it is.
I like having at least one comment in there warming things up. So, it is almost April of the year 2022, which means we're getting close to Easter. And I happen to know, because you and I have been friends for a while now, that you kind of know what you're doing when it comes to like planning and prepping Easter. So before we jump into that, why don't you tell people kind of where you are in Florida? Because Florida is that funky shape. You could be anywhere. Tell everybody where you are and kind of what you do, where's your church, all that kind of stuff. And
yeah. So
jump in.
yeah, my name's Caleb. I am the communications director at Redemption Church in Lakeland, Florida. Lakeland is pretty much central Florida. If you take a line and draw between Tampa and Orlando along the Interstate 4, I'm almost dead center in between Orlando and Tampa. And so we're dead center in the state. We're an hour from Disney. We're an hour from the beach. It's the best place really in the state of Florida to live. And cost of living is not too high, but that may be changing next year because Polk County is the 5th fastest growing county in the nation, according to a very recent survey. So plenty of opportunity for
Yes.
our church to reach many, many people.
Caleb's also a
And
real
so,
estate
yeah.
agent, everybody. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, no.
No, he's not. But he loves that area of Lakeland. And we,
Yes.
so I don't live in Lakeland, y'all. I live in a totally different part of Florida. And I'm going to let him have the Lakeland is the best place to live mantra for just today.
I will take that. I will stand on that corner all day long.
All right. So I invited you on here today because you are the like prepping for big services, big Sundays person. Whenever I'm like thinking about how to help my church with a big, whether it's Christmas, Easter, some big thing, I'm like, I'm going to ask Caleb what his church does because y'all are so good at it. So since it is April and we are getting close to Easter, I just looked it up today. It's 19 days. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, that's right.
Um, I'm like, is Google right? um, I wanted you to come on today and just talk to us a little bit about how y'all get ready for Easter. Now, I know you've already prepped all your Easter stuff and done all that planning, but can you kind of give us some quick basics of like things that y'all have to do, things that your staff and your team works on to get you ready for Easter Sunday?
Sure. Yeah. So we one of the things that I'm actually just pulling up this information right now. We actually this year are changing it up just a little bit. So I will tell you how we've done it in the past and how we're doing it this year. So in 2019, pre-COVID, we were averaging about 270 people in our services. And so we decided in 2019, we were in our building. It was the first full year we were in our building. We're like, let's do this amazing Easter service. We're going to have bounce houses and food trucks and Easter egg hunt for all the kids. It's going to be amazing. And we were like, well, let's make sure we have a second service just in case, we may get 500 people, right? We did Facebook ads. We utilized Text in Church. It was the first year using Text in Church. Again, averaging 275 people. We had 819 people come to our service on Easter 2019. Yeah. 2021, this is now post-COVID, we are averaging about 220, 240 people. So we're picking back up. We're getting back to those pre-COVID numbers. We're like, let's do another big event because we know that big events will draw people in. It will
Hmm.
attract people. And regardless of what you think about COVID, Florida is very different. Don't want to get
Right.
into that, but the culture here was things were generally back to normal in
Right.
the spring of 2020 for the time being. So let's do that again. So again, 230, 220, 230 people. We had 699 people. So we had a very, very good strategy for big events. And it was Facebook ads, text in church, plan your visits, Easter landing page, all the things that you hear text in church talk about if you're in the Facebook group and you're active. And it's awesome and it's great. And we love the process of what text in church offers and how they recommend doing it. And it's very, very successful. Testimony to that. Um, this year, one of the things that we noticed though is that post Easter, even 2019, 2021, even though we were offering 6-week follow-ups with text and emails, even though we were doing some sort of kind of hook to get people back, we would do like a meet the pastors or a
Hmm.
lunch with the pastors
Right.
event the week after Easter in returns. And part of the reason is because obviously Easter, it's a big Sunday. People are going to be at church anyway, a lot of
Right.
times, depending on what region of the country you're in. Um, but also because it's a big event, and we did our big events on Easter Sunday. People who were, maybe kind of loosely attending a church or weren't attending a church, they were coming to the big special event for their kids
Right.
and their families, but we weren't really able to assimilate them. And so this year, what we've decided is that we're not going to do a big, fantastical Easter event on Easter Sunday. Instead, we're going to do a normal service.
Right.
We'll have something special for the kids in the kids service, but we're not going to do something big before or after service. But what we are going to do is we're going to do a big, special, fun food truck event the Sunday after Easter.
Oh, okay.
And we're gonna use Easter as a way to get people in the door, and then we're gonna offer them the opportunity to come back. And I'll talk a little bit about kind of what our follow up is going to look like. But the big draw will be to get people back. We have food trucks. We are going to ask people to text in. It's their first time, and their gift when they text in that it's their first time is a voucher, just a homemade in-house voucher
Hmm.
for lunch for their entire family.
Wow.
We're going to pay for their lunch at the food truck for their entire family, regardless of how many people they have in their family. And so that's going to be the hook to get people back. Is we're going to have a big fun event the following Sunday, and we're going to pay for your lunch. So that's how we're changing it up this year. We do have a follow up 6 weeks throughout post Easter, and I'll talk more about that. But that's going to be our big Easter event, Easter hook to get people in the door and to get people coming back the following Sunday.
I love that you said that because you're the second person today that's talked about, well, we're not really doing like a big Easter thing.
Hmm.
We're focusing on, their thing that they were focusing on is like, we just want, you know, it to be a regular, a non-stressful Sunday for everybody involved. And then that was
Yes.
that was the focus of our conversation that I was having with him. But this idea of like, let's just have Easter Sunday. I mean, it's going to be a big deal whether we
Hmm.
have the brass band or whatever. I know your church doesn't
Right.
do brass bands. My church does, and we love it. But I also love this idea of instead of doing the egg hunt, the dinner on the grounds, the all that kind of stuff leading up, you're taking that big like event that usually kind of gets people to your Easter service, and you're putting it on the other side because you were realizing that people were going to come to that Easter service anyway. Is that what I'm hearing you say?
For the most part, yeah.
Yeah.
And the other thing is that there are a couple of large churches in Lakeland. Lakeland is deceptively large. There's about if you put a pin on our church map and draw 10 miles east,
Yeah.
10-mile radius, there's about 500,000 people in our region. So there's some relatively large churches in the area, especially in Lakeland proper. Many of those churches do their big Easter event on Saturday.
Right.
And a lot of churches do that. And they use that as the opportunity to get people in the door and hopefully invite them to Easter the following Sunday.
Right.
Um, we've done that before in previous years, not for Easter, but for other events.
Hmm.
And for us, it just wasn't a prospect. Like the return on the amount of energy,
Right.
time, and investment that it took, and resources that it took, we just weren't seeing those results. And so, what we decided was we were going to do special events on Sunday because that's when we want people to come to the church anyway.
Right.
Um, so and again, it's been very successful in terms of getting people in the door. We just hadn't seen those assimilation post Easter follow up, even though we were doing some sort of follow up strategy. We just the big reason for people to come to church that Easter Sunday was it boils down to what you do to attract people, you need to do to keep people.
Yeah.
And so for us, the energy that it took to get people in the door on Easter and then not follow up or follow through with having people come back in just wasn't worth it for us. So yeah, so we're gonna do it's gonna be a service. It's gonna be a great service. We definitely make sure that we are in terms of in service. Um, am I losing you?
I say that last sentence again just to make sure we got it because I lost you for like a
I'm
second,
sorry.
and then my phone was acting
Yeah, so
weird. Okay, you're good.
no worries. Yeah, so we are going to be on our A game in terms of like our connections team is going
Right.
to be, ready to go. Our kids team is going to be ready to go. But we're not going to do the big party post service
Yeah.
as a way to get people in the door. We're hoping to that, the message will be enough and then the follow-up will be the opportunity to have people come back the second and third Sunday.
I really loved what you said too. And I've heard it before, but it's been a while. But that idea of like what you do to attract people, you need to do to kind of hang on to them. What you said it better than
Yeah.
I did. But that is something that, I think we sometimes lose sight of as, because
Mhm.
we, for all the people that are in the church, they want that big, they're like, ooh, this is Easter Sunday. They come every week anyway. They want to see, like the handbells and the brass choir, the, whatever,
Yeah.
the pageant, all that kind of stuff. And that's great. But then like, if somebody's coming for the first time, they're like, wait, is all this happening all the time? And either it's
Right.
exciting and they're like, yeah, this is
Yes.
amazing, I want to come back. Or they're like, this is a lot.
That's right.
This is a lot of stuff. And so kind of managing that. And I loved also that you kind of, another thing that you said just now that I really liked was the idea of like, you tried something, it worked for a while, but
Mhm.
it wasn't, working, it didn't continue to work or it wasn't working the way you wanted it to. So you're changing things. And I think that's so important too in churches is like, it's okay to say, hey, this thing that we've been doing isn't working right now or isn't doing what we need it to do. It's,
Yeah.
it's still a fun event. It's still cute. We get the thing, whatever. But it's not doing what we need to do to get to our goal, which is more
That's right.
people coming back week after week after
Yes.
week. And so,
Yes.
yes, a lot of people may show up at that event, but if you're not able to really connect with them and get them back and, like you said, assimilated into your church family, then maybe switch to something else. So I want you to talk a little bit more about that connection part.
Sure. Well, let me first start off with how we're, advertising our Easter service because we're not doing those big events. So we have Facebook ads that have
Hmm.
started running for our community. I have a couple of people at our church that filmed a selfie style video. We also have Google ads that a third party company is managing for us. So we have some advertisements. We also have nice handouts. I actually
Ooh.
our process for getting people in the door really comes thanks to Devin Galloway and his
Hmm.
Engage talk back in
Yes.
February. He
Yes.
talked specifically about on ramps. He talked about having less. So our process for assimilation is this funnel of this large opening for people to come in and slowly assimilating in.
Right.
What he talked about, which he didn't say it this way, but this is how I visualized it, is like an upside down funnel where you're giving them a little bit of information at a time so
Yes.
they're not overloaded,
Right.
and they don't have an obstacle to um, taking their next step before even getting in the door.
Right.
And so he talks a lot about that, and so we actually applied that in our plan your visit
Hmm.
cards. I don't know, it's I don't know how bright. It's
Oh,
probably
there
too
you go.
bright to see,
I
but
can see it.
it
Hmm.
doesn't have a lot of words on it. It literally has just the information of the service time, direction, and then the QR code takes them to a plan your visit text and church card with a video from our lead pastor talking about what it what our service is going to look like.
That's
And
awesome.
so yeah, so we've got a lot less information to give them at the start, and that way, if you're interested, like, oh, what's happening at the service, then they click that, and it takes them to the video. Once they plan their visit, it'll actually take them to the full. Um, it'll take them to the full landing page, our full
Right.
Easter landing page with service times, directions, FAQs, all those things. So the deeper that they step in, the next step that they take, they get a little bit more information that I assume they're asking for.
Right. Right.
Um, so that's our process. And then yeah, so then I've got a couple of follow-ups, not too much because we are still out.
Oh my gosh, it's breaking up again, Caleb.
It's okay.
Okay.
I saw
Okay,
I
good.
froze. Am I there again?
Yeah, you're here. You're
Yeah.
good.
Um, yeah, so it's I'm sorry, we have a little bit of information,
Right.
or a little bit of follow-up, not too much. Um, but then they'll get a little bit more information the week going into Easter, reminding them they plan their visit, can't wait to see them. We have a special
Right.
gift for them. So yeah, so that's our process to getting people in the door.
Right.
Once they're in the door, our big so our announcement time, our welcome and announcement time, and this is something that I think a lot of churches kind of forget. But on big events like this, because you're going to have more first time guests, don't announce really anything. I
Right.
our literally or our lead pastor is going to come out, welcome everybody. He's going to say, "Hey, we're so glad that you're here. We're going to be here for about an hour. We got some songs. Hey, if it's your first time, this is what we'd love for you to do. Text the word new, fill out a
Right.
connection card." But that's the only announcement that we're going to give that day because that is the only thing we want people to do is to come back next Sunday. We don't want them to hear about our men's breakfast that's coming up the third Saturday of the month
Right.
or the women's retreat that's in 2 weeks or things like that that people who are checking our church out for the first time don't care about. Like our youth ministry, it's awesome, but we've got 4 weeks left in youth anyway. So
Right.
like advertising events for people that are new, just it's again, it's informational overload. Only our only message on Easter outside of Jesus Christ is
The
alive,
message.
the message is come back next Sunday.
Right.
We'd love to have you back next Sunday. We have a special event planned and we'd love to see your family again. We have a gift for you. We want to buy your lunch.
Hmm.
So come back next Sunday. So that's the only announcement we're giving. We're telling people text new, fill out
I
a connect card.
need that
We
on
want
a
to know that you're
t-shirt.
here.
I need it on a t-shirt. I feel like I need a t-shirt that says don't announce
That's a great idea. That's a great no, ours is gonna be like text new to 863 seven
Yeah,
seven seven
like
four
just
seven two. We're just gonna have one t-shirt.
yes, exactly. Oh my goodness, because it you feel like you want to give them all the information they could possibly need, and really the only thing they
Yeah.
need to know is that they're welcome, you're glad they're there,
Yep.
and you want to see them again.
I want to see you again.
Period.
Yep. Exactly.
Love it.
100%.
That's awesome.
So
Um,
yeah, so that'll be um that's kind of our process for Easter. We have a 6-week follow-up plan. So again, so we're doing the big event the week after Easter. Part of the
right.
another kind of a secret of the reason why we're doing the big event post Easter is because 3 of our pastors are going to be out the Sunday after Easter. So we're doing the food truck thing after Easter so we don't have to buy so we don't have to, make food or anything like that. We've got a bounce house and food trucks and
Yes.
none of the pastors have to
Yeah.
man those things.
Yes.
So yeah. So big event there, and then the Sunday after the big event. So again, we have We have a funnel of assimilating people. We have a 6-week follow-up through text and church. I just built that out this week. I'm sending it to our lead pastor for approval to make sure that, hey, all the words look good and things like that.
Right. Always good to have
So the
multiple
Sunday,
eyeballs on
yes,
when you're planning stuff, yes.
yes, yes, spelling errors, grammatical things, all those.
Yes.
I'm notorious for that. Where I'll have a full document, but then like a very easy word is spelled wrong. It's like, Caleb, you spelled Easter incorrectly. Um, so
And
yeah, so
Victoria,
the Sunday
before you
after
did
Easter,
you see Victoria, she wants to know, "Where's your church again, Caleb?" She's asking
we're
for
in Lakeland, Florida. Lakeland, Florida.
Victoria, I think that's a little far for you.
redemptionlakeland.com, probably. It is 86 degrees right now though. So for those of you that are feeling the effects of summer going, PS, I'm still here. You guys are
Yes.
welcome.
Yeah, I was gonna say the weather here in Northeast Florida on the coast is very nice today as
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't even think we're at 86. I think we're more
I
like 76.
listen, it was a fun day at Disney on Friday. I'm just saying. Anyway,
Yeah.
um yeah, so
Okay,
week
sorry.
after
Funnel.
Easter,
Oh,
big
wait,
event.
focus, focus. Okay, sorry.
Sorry. So yeah, so here's our 6-week follow-up generally. Speaking, it'll be texts and emails, but so April 24th, Sunday after Easter, big event. Food trucks, all that stuff. May 1st, 2 weeks after Easter, is Meet the Pastors, where you kind of hear our vision, um, and you meet. I'm going out on you. Sorry.
It's funny because you're not moving and it's not like you're walking around. Like the internet just is doing its thing.
I know. Yeah, I'm sitting. I'm just sitting in my office.
Yeah,
I'm sitting in our studio, not my office. This is a
right.
weird
I was gonna
background
say
wall
that
for
that
my
office
office.
is awesome. The disco.
Yeah, my homemade LED wall.
Yeah, it's very
Oh
good.
yeah,
So
Sunday
so
Sunday
the
after
meet the
Easter, big event.
pastor.
May 1st, Meet the Pastors. Gonna go through our vision and meet staff members. Meet all of our staff. We have 6 staff members, and um, so again, this is the funnel for new people. May 8th, which is 3 weeks after Easter, is Mother's Day. We have another big event on Mother's Day. We will do some sort of special event. We usually do. We have a family photo booth. We
Mhm.
have a professional photographer come in and do family photos. We have we usually do some fun things for the kids to give their moms. We do Mother's Day cards in the men's bathroom. That's like right as they walk in. Like, did you forget? Like, here's some Mother's Day cards.
Yes.
I will.
There are
We
people that
actually
they're not all there when at the end of the day. Some have been
they
taken.
get used a lot more often than I feel like they probably should get used. But it's awesome. And then we have a special gift for all the ladies in attendance. So we will do something special on Mother's Day. Again, a fun event to get people involved. And then we're going to try something brand new that we've never done. That we're still literally writing this. So this is not completed yet.
Breaking news.
But May 15th and May 22nd, we're going to do essentially a 101 first steps into assimilation
Mm,
class. We do our church calendar based on semesters. And so it's really hard to get people to assimilate this late in the spring season
yeah,
because by mid-May, all of our groups are winding down.
winding
Most
down.
almost all of our groups have less than 3 weeks before the summer. We could invite people to serve in the summer, but with so many people traveling and out of town, it's really hard to get that. So the only other assimilation process that we currently have is membership class. But we don't want a person who's been coming for 6 weeks to go, I want to become a member, even though they haven't actually served on a team. They haven't actually attended a group. They don't really know anybody yet, we
Right.
assume.
Right.
Um, so we're trying something new. We're kind of break out our membership class into a 101, 201, 301 type, which I know a lot of churches do. Hey, if you have a great, if you believe you have a really great 101, 201, 301 class, please put a comment in the chat. I need to talk to you.
Caleb would like some
But
assistance.
yeah, let's chat. Let's get on a phone call after this. But our 101 class will be a 2-week class, 15th and 22nd. It'll be our 11 a.m. service, and it'll be our core values as of right now,
Yeah.
unless we see something from another church that we're like, oh, this is way better.
Right.
Again, we're going to buy their lunch. We'll probably do some sort of brunch style thing. So now we've gotten through May 22nd, which is 5 weeks post Easter. And then of course, Memorial Day is Memorial Day weekend. But by that time, we're not going to do a big event on Memorial Day weekend because it's one of our lowest attended Sundays of the year. So we're just, hey, just a reminder, love to see you this Sunday. So yeah, so that's our process. Is again, it's a 6-week follow up. We've done 6-week follow ups in the past. We just haven't done intentional week every Sunday have something for people.
Right.
So our big goal from April 1st till June 1st is we want 100 people to text new on Easter Sunday, which we feel like we can do. And then by May 29th, 10%, so 10 people will have gone through this class, which is pretty good
Yeah.
if you understand assimilation statistics in the church. If 10% within 5 weeks of our church have come to an event like that, they're in.
Yeah.
If a person comes to your church 2 times, there's a 70% like their chance of a, coming again is like 70 out of 100.
Hmm.
If they come 3 times, you basically have them. So again, our hope is that by week 5 they will have attended 3 to 5 times
Right.
and have now assimilated by meeting our staff, by coming and being a part of a special event. May 15th and 22nd is that assimilations group. We're going to have one of our elders and then one of our group leaders who is really strong, who's a really strong teacher.
Hmm.
One of our elders and one of our group leaders who's a really strong teacher
Yeah.
teach
There
that
you go.
class.
We got it.
Yeah.
I don't know what's wrong with the internet. Goodness gracious. Well, okay. So
I don't either.
I really love that, you're doing the 6-week follow up. We talk about that all the time at Texan Church, in case you haven't heard. We love talking about 6 weeks. But I
Yeah.
love that it's not just come back to church, come back to church, come back to church, but it's like there's this thing that we have planned for you, or an element of the service that's going to be just for you, or something that we
Mhm.
think you'll want to be a part of. And it's a very intentional 6 weeks worth of follow up, which we always say, customize the workflow, we talk about intentionality, but I think especially this post Easter time when it's, like you said, things are winding down, it's getting ready to be summer. It's really hard sometimes for people to, you know, get sticky at the church, like stay.
Right.
But really giving them reasons. I mean, and the first one's like real easy. It's like food truck. We have food. We're
Yeah.
having food.
We have
And
food
then
for
it's
you. Yeah.
like, and now meet our pastors. And then Mother's Day.
Which,
And
by
it's
the way,
like,
food as well on the Meet the
yeah,
Pastor. So it's like we're buying their lunch 2 weeks in a row.
yeah.
And then of course 15th and 22nd, if they come, we're probably buying some sort of meal for them as well. So like if you come 5 weeks in a row starting Easter, 4 of the 5 weeks you'll have your lunch purchase. So
I
again, like
mean,
I know it's really carnal, but hey, like I keep joking. I'm like, if this was a church that I wasn't attending, I would 100% have started attending the church.
right.
Because I
Well,
have
and
my
honestly,
lunch paid for.
what right. And what I was just thinking is like, that's no small thing, like knowing
Yep.
as like a fan, especially like, I don't know what your demographic is. I'm assuming, well, I mean, our church we have a big family, a lot of our people that
Mhm.
join our families, and it's like feeding a family and knowing that they're going to get fed. Like, this is and then of course
Yeah.
we're joking a little bit, but also food is where you have conversations, you get to know people. I mean, that's the real point. I mean, that's kind of
Yeah.
the
Some of Jesus's best ministry moments in the Bible that we talk about, that we
Mhm.
teach on, involve food
Yeah.
and involve a meal. I mean, like there's a reason why, um, we believe that, like, and certainly, going into more of a theological thing with our church, like that there's a reason why we have small groups and we do them at houses,
Right.
because like there's something just special about, especially in the 21st century. Like I remember growing up, like we did dinner every night at our
Oh
house, and
yeah.
we almost always had like a neighbor or a friend, someone from church over. And so like the ability to gather around the table where you actually can physically see everyone,
Mhm.
it's just a different feel. You feel more known, noticed, and loved.
That's right. That's right. Well, I knew inviting you to talk with me today was going to be a treat, and I've learned things that I did not even know already. And so I'm going to basically hang up with you and call my staff, my church staff, and be like, I've got some things to tell you. But I really, so we appreciate those of you who are able to join us live. Victoria does say it's a little bit of a drive for her, and it's also 33 degrees where she is. So we're really
Ooh,
sorry. We're going to send you some
sorry.
warm vibes. I don't know. But we hope that you, whether you listen to this live or listening to it later, we hope you, got some good information. If you have any questions for Caleb, and if you just tag him in the comments, he will answer. I promise. He's really good about that. And then he was not kidding. If you have a good membership type class or a class that you use to help people get connected in your church and want to chit chat with him about it, again, tag him in the
Yes.
comments. He will be happy to hop on a call with you. And of course, Caleb, it's always a pleasure hanging out with you. One day we'll
Yes.
actually
Thank you.
I'll actually drive down there.
I know. I know. Just
Not it's
take a weekend, go to Disney.
yeah.
We'll come up and see you guys. It'd be great.
Yeah, it's so close and so far at the same time.
It
It's
is
really
true.
it's really Orlando traffic is what it is. I'm afraid of it.
That's right.
Um,
Yeah. It's like 6 hours. But two of them are
yeah, right, right.
in the one city. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, and of course we'll do this again soon. Thank you everybody for chit chatting in the trenches with Caleb Oliver today. Thanks. Bye.